Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on 10 games in Fanatical's Bethesda Legends bundle of October 2025. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and support the channel in the process. Before I begin, I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for watching my silly videos. I hope they're helpful, and most importantly, knowing that you're watching it means the world. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have The Evil Within, a brutal return to true survival horror, a grotesque nightmarish experience from Resident Evil creator Shinji Mikami. You play as Detective Sebastian Castellanos, drawn into a warped world of blood, brain gel, and pure madness. This is not just another zombie shooter, it is a twisted blend of stealth, puzzle solving, and panic-inducing combat that constantly keeps you on edge. You'll explore asylums dripping with dread, towns that tear themselves apart, and flesh-covered enemies that make every encounter a fight for survival. The game's design brilliantly balances tension between stealth and action, whether sneaking past snarling horrors or burning bodies with your last match to keep them down. Each level feels like a grim playground of traps, scares, and brutal decisions. When The Evil Within works, it is horrifyingly good. The atmosphere drips with unease, and the unpredictable monsters force you to think fast or die horribly. The camera, however, is a curse. The extreme letterboxing and tight field of view often make you feel boxed in, not always in a good way. Combine a sometimes clunky engine and frustrating zoomed-in sneaking, it can make certain moments more annoying than terrifying. Still, when everything clicks, it's a kind of horror that gets under your skin. Absurd, bloody, and unforgettable. The Evil Within might stumble technically, but it nails the mood and madness that survival horror fans crave. At number 2 we have Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, a standalone expansion to the 2016 immersive assassin sim Dishonored 2. Developed by Arcane Studios and published by Bethesda, the expansion introduces players to Billy Lurk, who is on a mission to kill the Outsider, a godlike being. The game presents a semi-directed design with intricate possibilities and routes, showcasing Dishonored's strengths. The expansion's standout mission is a heist involving breaking into a heavily fortified bank. Billy's journey involves diverse targets, emphasizing information and items over traditional assassination. Her unique powers, drawn directly from the Void, offer interesting mechanics. Displace functions like Blink, but allows for teleportation to a marked location, making it useful for escape and traversal. Semblance lets Billy steal an NPC's face, aiding in moving among guards without being attacked. This expansion's environment resembles Dishonored 2, featuring densely packed areas with detail and side stories. A contract system adds optional objectives from the black market, diversifying gameplay. Some criticisms arise, like 2 missions occurring in the same district, and the limited time for certain revelations. Despite minor grievances, Death of the Outsider presents an engaging freeform stealth experience, offering enjoyable encounters, new perspectives on characters, and a fulfilling conclusion to the Dishonored storyline. While it may not match the consistency of its predecessor, it still adds depth and atmosphere to the series' world. At number 3 we have Dishonored 2, a stealth game that offers an immersive experience with a compelling narrative, unique characters, and thrilling gameplay. The game offers 2 distinct runs, with Corvo and Emily, each bringing their unique set of abilities to the table. The light choices you can make throughout the game only play out in the short term, but the ability to trigger hardcore mode at the start with no powers, and the chance to collect every rune and bone charm in the game offer a lot of replay value. The heart item from the first Dishonored returns, and is a great way to ease you into additional content. Experimentation is at the core of Dishonored 2, and you're encouraged to try different approaches to challenges, whether it be hand-to-hand combat or stealthy approaches. The game requires you to master every tool you're given, which can be challenging due to the quick deaths and relentless AI, but once you have several chapters under your belt, the game picks up and crescendos into a nice finale. The acquisition of new powers is not the only thing that makes you feel like a badass assassin. It is also the slow drip reward of learning the many intricacies and rules of the game's world. Overall, Dishonored 2 is a game that encourages experimentation and rewards you for mastering the game's mechanics. At number 4 we have The Evil Within 2, a third-person survival horror game that blends psychological dread with heartfelt storytelling. You play as Sebastian Castellanos, a broken detective descending to the decaying world of Union to rescue his daughter. From its opening, a burning house and a father's desperate cry, you're pulled into a grim but surprisingly emotional nightmare that never lets go. While the story leans heavily on a familiar tragic dad trope, it works because of how much sincerity and heart is poured into every moment. The game's environments tell their own stories. Shattered homes, haunting echoes, and horrifying creatures that reflect both the madness of Union and the pain driving Sebastian. The Guardian and Obscura, for example, are disturbing yet strangely poetic monsters, each serving as manifestations of artistic obsession and human fragility. Gameplay-wise, you'll explore semi-open areas, scavenging for supplies and completing side missions that add depth to the world. Stealth is your best friend. Every shadow hides both danger and opportunity. The tension of sneaking past grotesque enemies, guided only by eerie audio cues, keeps your heart racing. Combat can occasionally feel clunky, and checkpoints aren't perfect, but the dread never fades. With its tight design, excellent soundscape, and genuine emotional core, The Evil Within 2 delivers one of the most gripping horror experiences in recent years. You're not just fighting monsters, you're fighting for redemption. At number 5 we have Wolfenstein: The New Order, an action-adventure first-person game set in an alternate history timeline. Set in the 1960s, the Nazis have won World War II with their superior technology, and most of Europe has been put under their control. You play as B.J. Blazkowicz, a badass American soldier who was admitted to a psychiatric asylum after a mission gone wrong, where you remain in a catatonic state. The asylum has been ordered to shut down by the Nazis, and after witnessing some atrocities on the people there, BJ awakens and he goes on a rampage to destroy the Nazi war machine and his nemesis, Wilhelm Strauss, aka Death's Head. The story is actually pretty good, and it basically provides you a reason to shoot Nazis with varying mission objectives to keep things fresh. The alternate history storyline is really interesting, and being a badass bringing down the Nazis feels great. Characters that you meet along the way are also relatable, as they are just regular people oppressed by the regime wanting liberation. You can use a variety of weapons to kill these Nazis, and these range from handguns, assault rifles, shotguns, all the way to more interesting weapons like Tesla grenades and a laser cutter. There are also some sections where you get to pilot mechs to destroy a Nazi encampment, and that is really fun, sitting in the seat of a mech, leveling everything around you. This game is great if you want to feel like a badass action hero in a film, murdering Nazis and bringing down their operations. At number 6 we have Doom 2016, a reboot of a classic Doom game where you shoot demons on Mars. You play as a Doomslayer, partnering up with Samuel Hayden, a high-ranking official working on secretive Argent energy research projects on Mars. The both of you are trying to rid the forces of hell brought upon by Olivia Pierce, a high-ranking scientist who was enticed by Satan's promises of greatness. The plot is simple and is not the main focus of the game, but if you're truly interested, there are codexes scattered around for you to read. Levels in Doom have a singular goal outlined, but all of them will end with a gigantic battle involving the murder of various demons and highly destructive events. This game is not all about the battles though, as you'll be spending much of your time exploring the map filled with corridors looking for key cards and secrets. Enemies are quite varied, with some using melee weapons while others fire projectiles, before expanding to more varied weaponry and abilities like teleportation and minion summoning. Best of all, they spawn by the dozens, so you'll be crushing demon skulls for days. This game doesn't have a reload button, and all you have to worry about is pulling the trigger of a variety of weapons like the super shotgun, rocket launcher, the chain gun, among others. Each weapon is accompanied by satisfying booms as you turn demons into jelly. Weapon abilities can be upgraded via mods and have alternate firing modes. The movement in Doom is fast, faster than most other FPS games. This movement style encourages you to constantly move, kite, dodge, and lunge at demons, with some demons being as agile as you. You can also perform glory kills, which are quick melee animations that you can perform on weakened enemies for some very gory yet satisfying finishing moves, watching their demon heads explode into a million drops of blood and also become health pickups. You can use the chainsaw to saw demons in half, which also functions as a limited ammo regen tool. Doom is definitely an old school FPS where you're required to explore to discover necessary keys to progress, but when the action gets going, it really dials itself up over the top, delivering a very satisfying FPS worthy of the Doom name. At number 7 we have The Elder Scrolls 3: Morrowind, Game of the Year Edition. Released in 2002, it may lack the visual polish of modern games, but its depth and engrossing narrative make it an unforgettable experience. Morrowind's introduction doesn't hold your hand. It hands you paperwork and thrusts you into an open world, leaving you to decide your path. The island of Vardenfell is a strange landscape dominated by a volcano, red mountain with giant mushrooms, stone pinnacles, and bizarre creatures. The political structure, with the tribunal and the 5 great houses, adds layers to the lore, which spans thousands of years. The storytelling is both a strength and a weakness. While the narrative is fantastic, the delivery lacks personality, relying on encyclopedic explanations. The main plot involves proving yourself as the Nirvarin, combating the awakening threat of Dogath-Ur, and uncovering the history of Morrowind. The game's atmospheric music and immersive world are occasionally interrupted by frustrating cliff racer encounters. The visuals, despite their 2002 aesthetic, contribute to the grand adventure feeling. Combat, however, is a weak point, relying on dice roll mechanics that can feel unsatisfying. Morrowind improves upon Daggerfall's flaws, offering a distinct, smaller world with varied towns and reduced non-randomized dungeons. Exploration is encouraged, with fast travel options and more surface-focused quests. However, the gameplay can thin out towards the end. Morrowind lacks the emergent situations of later titles, but compensates with unparalleled depth. It challenges you to explore an alien world, and if you can navigate its quirks, it promises an experience you'll always remember. The Game of the Year edition includes new gameplay mechanics, quests, locations, dungeons, armor, weapons, and more creatures to murder. At number 8 we have The Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion, Game of the Year edition, a highly acclaimed open-world RPG. Developed by Bethesda Softworks, the game is celebrated for its vast, immersive world and captivating quests. This edition includes the original game along with 2 expansions, Knights of the Nine and Shivering Isles. The main storyline revolves around your character's journey through the land of Cyrodiil, tackling quests and uncovering mysteries. The game's accessibility caters to both casual and hardcore gamers, allowing you to enjoy the adventure at your own pace. The expansion, Knights of the Nine, introduces a 10-hour questline that adds depth to the lore, while Shivering Isles offers a large new area to explore, full of bizarre landscapes and characters. Character progression is flexible, with enemies leveling up along with you, ensuring a balanced challenge throughout the game. The game's map is enormous, offering diverse locations, cities, dungeons, and NPCs. The Radiant AI system brings NPCs to life, engaging in realistic activities and interactions. The game's technical aspects, visuals, and audio are praiseworthy, contributing to the immersive experience, even though the visuals may be dated by now. The Game of the Year edition delivers exceptional value, providing over 250 hours of entertainment through its vast content. Whether you're a new player or a returning fan, Oblivion promises a captivating and endearing RPG adventure, making it a highly recommended choice for those seeking an expansive and engaging game world. At number 9 we have Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition, a massive RPG that blends post-apocalyptic survival, open-world exploration, and gripping narrative choices. Set in a world devastated by nuclear war, you play as the Courier, a lone wanderer seeking revenge after being shot and left for dead. As you navigate the Mojave Desert, the neon-lit ruins of New Vegas, and surrounding regions, you'll encounter various factions, each vying for control. Your choices will impact alliances with groups like the New Californian Republic, Caesar's Legion, and Mr. House, as well as smaller towns and settlements. The Ultimate Edition includes the base game and 4 DLC expansions, offering over 100 hours of content. These expansions, like Dead Money and Old World Blues, introduce new stories, unique environments, and challenging enemies. You'll need to adapt to each situation, whether you're scavenging for survival or managing your limited resources in a harsh wasteland. The gameplay offers a mix of real-time combat and strategic use of the VATS system, allowing for cinematic slow-motion targeting. You can customize your character through perks, skills, and attributes, making each playthrough feel personal. The game's non-linear design encourages exploration, and you are free to take on quests in any order, shaping your own path. With immersive storytelling, vast exploration, and deep RPG mechanics, Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition stands as one of the best post-apocalyptic experiences, giving you the freedom to shape the fate of the Mojave Wasteland. At number 10 we have Fallout Classic Collection. This collection bundles Fallout, Fallout 2, and Fallout Tactics, offering a deep dive into the origins of the beloved post-apocalyptic RPG series. If you're curious about where it all started, this is your ticket to a gritty, nostalgic wasteland. As you step into these isometric worlds, you're greeted with turn-based combat, a desolate yet vivid 1950s-inspired nuclear future, and storytelling that refuses to hold your hand. Fallout tasks you with saving your vault from dehydration, while Fallout 2 expands the world, adding more complex factions and morally ambiguous choices. Fallout Tactics shifts gears towards squad-based combat, blending strategic depth with the series' bleak charm. Yet, be warned, these games are extremely difficult. The interfaces feel clunky by today's standards, and wandering into the desert ill-equipped will likely get you killed. Combat demands patience, with action points dictating every move. Saving frequently is not just a tip, it is survival. These challenges, however, make victories feel hard-earned and rewarding. The writing remains a highlight, with dark humor and nuanced dialogue that rival even the modern entries. The visuals, though dated, effectively set a foreboding tone, blending muted palettes with oppressive atmospheres. You'll encounter memorable quests, twisted characters, and a world that feels uniquely alive. If you value storytelling, atmosphere, and strategy over streamlined mechanics, the Fallout Classic Collection is a time capsule worth opening. Just prepare yourself for a tough, often frustrating journey through the irradiated ruins of gaming history. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle dropped like a mini Bethesda nuke. Dishonored, Rage, Fallout, all packed in one clean hit for $10. Sure, a few repeats and trades are flying around, but if you're missing even 2 titles, it's an easy pickup. Between Prime Gaming handing out Fallout 3 and New Vegas on GOG, and this deal on Fanatical, October's stacked for anyone craving that retro chaos. Grab it, trade smart, and prepare your backlog. Union's calling, Slayer. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.